Hello, and welcome to my first YouTube Live. This is actually going to be super duper interesting because I do regularly do lives on my Facebook page, but this will definitely be a new experience, hopefully, for all of us and make it all go super duper awesome. For those of you that don't know me, I am Sam. I do tarot and oracle readings. When the mood strikes me, I also do pyromancy and crystal reading. If you're not sure what those are, pyromancy is actually when I use a candle and a piece of paper to give you your readings. I pass it over the flame, and whatever the soot says is your message. Crystals, I use a mat and 5 different crystals. I shake them up like dice and cast them, and that is the read. Tonight, though, I think I'm going to keep it kind of simple, kind of easy. Just keep with the basic tarot and oracle cards. Probably even grab out my Lenormand deck. Many of you already know tarot cards for what they are. Images, I use a question or something that you want some clarification on and use either a 3 or more card spread to get that answer. Same with oracle cards, and I've got a few different decks that I use that for. I've got a shapeshifter deck, a moonology deck, and my personal favorite, if I'm going to be honest, are my karma cards. And essentially what they are is I have a deck with an astrology house, and after I get them all separated, I apologize, zodiac signs, and planets. And what I do is I use my dice that all match up with the signs and planets and the houses. I roll those, and depending on if you're asking an action or an outcome question, what I do is I grab one of all 3, depending on what my dice pull up, and they give me a full-blown sentence of your message with a spiritual, mental, and physical answer for that action or outcome. And until we get some people in, I will be doing demos of all the above. If anyone would like a reading, though, you are encouraged to definitely send a question. Questions are only $15 each, and those can be paid through Cash App or Venmo. If we happen to get anybody with one, I'm happy to share those tags. Once funds are received, I will let you know, and we'll get started with your question. For the moment, though, I will be probably sticking with how I usually do my live reads on my Facebook page. If you want to follow, it is Seeing with Sam, or if, because Facebook's weird, just put the @ symbol, Sam Reading Ohio, all spelled out. And I definitely encourage you to follow the Facebook page because I do actually do daily oracle and tarot pulls at 10:30 in the morning. I know it's a little late for some people, but it's still early enough in the day to kind of get an idea of what your day is going to look like. Sorry. We had a lot of rain recently in my area, and I don't know if for the first time in my life I'm actually developing allergies or what, but my throat's been all kinds of wonker-doodle. And yes, that is a word. You're going to be hearing a lot of Samisms, if you will, during my lives, and some of them are funny. Some of them you just kind of wonder what exactly I do during my day, if I'll be honest. But in the meantime, let's do a demo with my oracle cards. One of the things I love to do with them is look at what your real obstacle is, what's going to hinder you, and what's going to help you. And because some of you might have noticed that in the description I put moon signs, that is actually for a very specific reason. I do moon signs instead of sun signs because, knowing astrology like I do, sun signs are only one tiny little piece of yourself. But your moon sign is how you process your emotions in the world around you. So that is one of the reasons why you may see everybody and their brother and second cousin that does cards go for your sun sign. I see your sun sign as honestly no different than your eye or your hair color. It is what it is. Your moon sign, though, is what makes the biggest part of you, you. That is how you process, which is why, call me crazy, I will always go for moon signs. And if you don't know your moon sign, you are more than welcome to hit me up. I do offer birth charts, $15. I give you your wheel of what in the world does that mean, and a very detailed breakdown of everything from your hemisphere balance, your zodiac, your element balance, what all your signs are and what that actually means, along with how they relate to the other planets that it's either squaring or semi-sextile or whatever, and what that actually means for you. And like I said, PDF copy is only $15. My turnaround's within a day. But in the meantime, let's check out, since retrograde started yesterday, and if you don't know anything about Mercury retrograde in Virgo, definitely hit my channel up real quick. I have I guess you could call it a tidbit, a quick clip, whatever the hell you want to call it, about Mercury retrograde in Virgo, what it is, what it's going to affect, and most importantly, how you can work with it instead of against it. Because retrogrades aren't the whole bad, scary thing that everyone thinks it is. Not at all. It's actually a great time to work on projects you put on the back burner, or even actually start working on a lot of your self-improvement that you've been wanting to do. You just ain't got around to doing it. But backtrack off of my rant. I do those a lot, so trust me. They may seem pointless, but if you listen, a lot of information. But back to our who we're going to do a moon sign for reading for, and I will be using my astrology dice with the zodiac signs to kind of help us out here on that. All right, so if your moon is in Libra, we're going to check you out and see what your biggest obstacle is going to be during this retrograde, and what's going to hinder you and what's going to help you. So if your moon is in Libra, let's check you out for this retrograde. And we're going to be using my shapeshifter deck to really help us kind of get an idea of what's going on. Okay, so for people with their moon in Libra, all right. Wellsy then, we're going to narrow down your obstacle here, because 4 obstacles, holy crap, let's try and make your world a little bit easier, shall we? And you'll also notice that whenever I do my card readings, I only ever grab the jumpers. That's for one main reason. I have tried pulling from the deck, never works out. I always feel like the message is forced and it's not what it's supposed to be. So I will always, always, always grab jumpers. So we now have the main obstacle that decided to jump all the way across my room here for our moon in Virgo. Goodness, moon in Libra, retrograde in Virgo. I got this. You'll hear me trip a lot over my own tongue. That is because I am sorry to say I'm a real person. It's what I do. These people that try to be perfect, I'm sorry. I would rather the real guy any day of the week. All right, so we've got your biggest obstacle, moon in Libra people. Let's check out what's going to hinder you and what's going to help you. All right, so moon in Libra people, you are definitely, you're going to have a little bit of trouble with this one, because based on what I've seen about a lot of people in general, this is an issue across the board. It's not just a you thing. But for your biggest obstacle, you got mermaid in a koi pond. Rediscover your individuality and become the dragon. That tells me that you've been following the crowd for too damn long. Time's come to start rediscovering who are you as a person. Who do you want to be, and who are you supposed to be? Stop doing what everyone is telling you that you should be, or telling you who you're meant to be. Who do you want to be? Who are you as a person beneath the career, the family obligations, the friend obligations? Who are you as a person, moon in Libra? Your biggest hindrance? We've got Orca magic. The Akashic libraries are open. That tells me that it's either your current life. In the past, there's probably been some experiences that you have not actually fully healed from and let go of. you're still thinking about them in the back of your mind. You're still letting them affect your choices now and who you think that you're supposed to be. That is not the way to go. I get that it's easier said than done to heal from those past things, but trust me, these things that you're clinging on to are not serving you anymore. And if you're saying, oh, well, I let go of that situation, it doesn't affect me anymore. Sweetheart, did you really? I mean, honestly, did you really let that go? Let's think about that for a minute. Okay? The thing that's going to help you, though, you've got 2 kittens you must choose. So that tells me that being your individual self again is going to be difficult. It's going to feel nigh impossible. But during this retrograde, you have that choice. You have that possibility. You have the inner strength to be who you want to be. Don't waste the opportunity. Do you know how often these opportunities happen for people? Not often enough, especially when the energies are in the right alignment. Do not waste that time, Moon and Libra. Make that choice today to become the person you are meant to be and become you. Society may say one thing. I personally say, be you. All right? I might sound like a crazy pants. Probably am, but you know what? I'm still working on the journey of becoming myself. I've come a long way from where I started, and I can tell you right now, I've never, ever been happier. Ever. So Moon and Libra, listen to that whole mermaid in a koi pond, rediscover your individuality, and let your dragon wings fly. Oh, sorry. Oh. Don't know what that itch was about other than maybe one of my spirit guides going, hey! Because I can tell you right now, I wash my hair too damn often for it to be dandruff. I know it may not look like it with the craziness and the pens, but sorry, if anyone is ever offended by pens in my hair, if you know girl pants, the pant pockets ain't long enough. They barely go here on me. They ain't gonna hold no pens, and you never know when I'm gonna need to leave myself a note. I mean, surprised my hands aren't covered with them today. But that is a demo of how my biggest obstacle, hindrance, and helper spread goes with the 3 cards. And I almost always use those with my oracle cards as far as how to read those, because they are always going to give the most direct answer, while still leaving a little bit of wiggle room to let my intuition be able to come out and say, this is what's going on with you. And you know what? Because I did mention I was going to do a demo for these guys, we're going to check out my zodiac cards real quick. Now, how they work is it's the planet in a sun sign, well, zodiac sign, and in a zodiac house. All right. So it's pretty much exactly like how you would think a zodiac would work as far as your natal chart. But in this case, we're using it for a reading. Excuse me. Hopefully that's not like that the whole hour I'm here, because I'm not going to lie, 10 o'clock I'm kicking off because 6 a.m., way too early. Way too early. But in the meantime, instead of using my zodiac dice, let's cheat a little bit and see if my Moonology deck can't let us know what moon sign to read for this time, as far as how that person can get the most out of this retrograde we got started up and going. And again, if you're just joining us, welcome. And it is open read night, so if you have a question, it's only $15, and that can be Cash App or Venmo'd. I'm good with either or, whatever works best for you. Or if you don't want to do that, I also accept donations from my GoFundMe page. And if you happen to be enjoying the session at all, I'm leaving the link in the comments. Donations are heavily appreciated, because what that GoFundMe is going towards is actually buying a permanent location for my store that I love to death. It's called Mystic Moon Metaphysical. If you ever get a chance to look it up, please do. It's on Facebook, it's on Google. Check me out. I offer all kinds of things here, up to and including tutorials and in-person reading sessions. But I want to give my store a permanent home, and I also want to be able to give my readings a permanent home. So donations are appreciated there, or if you'd like to get a reading, Cash App, Venmo, or a donation to the GoFundMe. All the above are options, absolutely. But for my Zodiac deck, we're doing a moon sign read for our people in their moon in Taurus. So that kind of worries me because unfortunately my moon is in Taurus. So I'm right there with you guys going, oh, shit. All right, so how can us moon in Taurus people best use this retrograde to our best advantage and come out at the end on top? All right, so we've got Saturn in Leo in the 6th house. So let's get those cards out and see how we can best use this. Okay, we've got Saturn in Leo in the 6th house. So I'm going to let you guys kind of see what I'm seeing real quick here, so you can kind of see what I mean by it makes a whole sentence when you do it. It's really cool. So we're looking at the red side here, and you guys see how quite literally it makes a full sentence when you put the cards together. Now let's read them and see what they're talking about. So spiritually, me and my fellow Moon and Taurus people need to be realistic about leadership as a full-time job. So whether it's leading in our work department, in our families, whatever portion of our life, we need to be realistic about what it really means to lead our people, to be that person that people go to with the questions, to be that guy that has the answers, spiritually speaking, as if it was something that we go to our 9 to 5, work 40 plus hours a week. We need to be realistic about what that really means to us spiritually and how we can do the best of our ability on being that person with those answers. Mentally, be concerned about the creativeness of serving. So we need to actually think, how are we best serving our people? What are we doing and what are we offering to the people in our lives? And are we actually just cookie cuttering it, or are we standing out and showing that this is what we do? This is who we are. This is how we contribute. Or are we just going like all the other guys and going, hey, what was our recipe again? No, let's not do the same chocolate chip cookies that everyone else is doing. Let's look at chocolate chip cookies with walnuts, with pistachios. Why not? I like pistachios. Actually, I might try that the next time I go baking. I'll let you guys know how that goes if I do it. But seriously, that's one of the things that we need to start looking at and being concerned about and think about. How do we, as our individual selves, really give back to the people that are helping us, give back to our communities, our families, our friends? What are we doing that shows that this is what we can offer that no one else can? And physically, you must wait before you can do what you want to and do it a little at a time. So I know that I have this issue because I don't have patience, but we need to be patient about what we really want to do and baby step it. Make that full flow chart. Make that PowerPoint presentation on what it is we want to do and building blocks. We can't go rushing in like we typically want to. I'm that guy, hi. But that is how that is going to work. So spiritually, be realistic about what it is to be a leader. mentally think about how you are, as an individual, are contributing to the people and the world around you. And before you do what you want to do, baby step it. Think about what you want to do, make the flow chart, make the vision board, whatever the fuck it is that you do to help yourself baby step it. That is what me and the other Moon and Taurus people need to do to really get the most out of this retrograde. You can get these guys back in before we move on to our next little tidbit of fun. Because believe it or not, the more these guys stay in place, the faster I can grab them. Blame that Moon in Taurus and having 9 other spots in freaking Capricorn of all things. I'm a Sun Sag, but obviously you can see not exactly the total Saggy type that most people are used to. I personally enjoy being an individual. Thank you very much. I think that's the Leo rising. Who knows? But while we're doing demos and going a little nuts here, you guys might get a little seasick after this because I'm going to give you guys what most people don't do and do some Lenormand cards. Now, you're probably thinking, what in the devil are these Lenormand cards that this woman's been talking about? Heard it 2 or 3 times now. What are they? I'll tell you. They are very similar to Oracle cards in the fact that they do give a description of the card. But instead of the quick and dirty, they are like tarot cards where they're very, very, very in-depth. They actually give you a full-blown, what am I and how does that affect you? And it gets even more fun because just like with my tarot cards, I still have to use my intuition to get an idea of what in the devil is this book trying to tell you? What is this letter that might be coming your way? Because again, unlike those guys, if your letter card comes up, it is actually very specific about the fact that it really is a message that is physically coming to you, be it in the mail, your email inbox, a docket at work, all kinds of craziness. So trust me, it's nuts but cool. So for our demo, we're not going to use a moon sign because these actually do better with specific people. So that being said, I have a photographer friend who is trying to kind of expand his world a little bit and really trying to get his career to take off. Now, like many other struggling artists, he's having a slow go at it and obviously getting a little on the discouraged side. So we're going to kind of see what's in store for him as far as his photography career. Now, how I'm going to do that is I have a card for his current situation, how that's going for him currently. I will do a recent past card and a recent recent past and a near future card. I can totally talk, I swear. And whenever I say recent or near, that could be anything from a few days up to a few months, typically 3, forward or backward, depending on if it's past or future, what he needs to focus on and what he needs to stop avoiding. And if he ends up watching the replay, hi, please don't hurt me. Because total sweetheart, love him to death, gives great hugs. But I don't think he puts too much stock in cards. And also, he's not exactly the biggest fan of having his cards done. But I feel a little safe because he's not going to watch the replay, which means that it's going to be our little secret. But let's get where he's at now. And in this case, we've got a full-blown story for his current situation. And like I said, you guys might get a little seasick when I move my computer to help you guys see this because unfortunately I don't have a camera stand yet. But bear with me, as the channel and the Facebook page for my readings grow, so will the equipment, right? So we've got where he's at now. Let's check out his recent past. All right, we've got his recent past. Now let's check out what he needs to start focusing on. And you know what? Just for giggles, because I can already tell that this card's going to need a clarifier, let's get that while we're right here. Let's get a clarifier for where he needs to focus. All right. Now let's check out his near future. All right. And last but not least, let's check out what he needs to stop avoiding. My goodness. And again, we've got a full-blown set of, but you know what? Unlike with Oracle cards when it comes to trying to find that biggest obstacle, if you will, in this case, we are actually going to use this all because it looks like it all actually does need put on here to kind of help us see what is going on. All right, so this is where we're going to kind of move you guys around a little bit. Sorry if you get seasick, but flow with me, all right? So this group right here is where he's at now. This is it. Oh, let's turn you a little bit more here. This is his near past. This is where he needs to focus, his near future, and what he needs to stop avoiding. So, currently with where he's at right now, we've got a lightning card, a roads card. Get these where I can definitely make sure I can read them all. Flames card and dog card. So this is what this is telling me, okay? Currently, he is going through a disagreeable bout of surprise. Things are not going his way, like I've already mentioned. And unfortunately, it definitely says that there's going to be some more misadventures before all is said and done. But with the Flames card, it's going to start neutralizing all the shit going on. So that means that things are going to start turning around, if not in a good way, at least toning down all the junk he's going through. Which, hey, air high five to him because the poor guy could use a break. All of my artists could, but when you see someone get slapped around that much by karma, universe, whatever you want to call it, you just want to give them a hug and a cookie and say it's going to be okay. And the dog represents true friends. So it looks like, along with all the crap going on, if not getting better, at least toning down, he's got some great friends around him that are going to help push him forward into a better life. So big high five to those friends, because if you're a Beatles friend, I Get By With a Little Help from My Friends. It's a great song. You should listen to it if you haven't yet. But it's a fact. We get by with a little help from our friends. When we got actually good friends around us, they help us get through all of the crap. Now, in his near past, we have the Rod card, and that typically means family quarrels, and honestly, I would not be shocked. Let's face it, we all have family troubles, and if you're the artistic type trying to make a go of it, it's usually a little worse. Experience, trust me. But honestly, I feel bad that he's been fighting with his family, but you know what? Sometimes also, another fact is family isn't always blood, and sometimes you have to let the people go that are causing negativity in your life for you to be able to grow into the person that you're supposed to be. I don't ever recommend it unless it's an absolute necessity, but sometimes it's a necessity. Again, unfortunately, speaking from experience. But the thing that he needs to focus on to encourage a better future, we've got the Clouds card and the Amor card. So that tells me that he's definitely going to have to start, excuse me, working on some of his more domestic relationships. He needs to start working on, if not these family quarrels, then all the other interpersonal relationships that are going to help him be able to have a brighter outlook. And I've been seeing this Amore card a lot whenever I decide to take a peek, if you will. And the Amore card is a sign that someone is looking at with great love and longing. So maybe try and work things out with that person, because honestly, sometimes it's the people that love us most that when we are not feeling ourselves that we push the furthest away. So I would say maybe family and the people that love him the most that he needs to connect with and see how they can't help him ensure that he keeps on trying to do better with his work, that he keeps on trying to go towards those goals to build his business. And his near future, we've got the Mountains card and the Cat card. Dogs and cats and dogs. But the mountains nearby, which unfortunately near future, indicate the presence of a mighty enemy. The cats indicate flattery. And sometimes if a card says near a certain number, then it definitely actually adds a flavor to the card. In this case, we don't have a 6 anywhere. Not seeing a 29, but we do see a 30 with the rod card. That number right there is what I'm talking about. But it does, normally it would say denote strife, but luckily this is in the past. So it looks like to take care of this mighty enemy that he's got coming his way, he's going to have to use a little bit of finesse, a little flattery, maybe some wine and roses, maybe a little bit of cheesy, oh, you look so wonderful kind of crap that we all cringe and hate to do. But hey, let's face it, when it comes to some of our bigger obstacles, kissing a little butt helps get a little further. Now, the thing that he needs to stop avoiding, and let's face it, when it comes to things that we want to avoid, are usually our biggest obstacles on getting to that next step. And this is interesting, if I may say, because we have Hand in Hand and the Bride card, the Sun and the Pig card. So, shot in the dark, praying he never ever sees this replay right now, because I feel like I'm going to get hit. Not in a bad way, but more in a, if you ever seen NCIS, the Gib slap, can't always dodge the bullet. But anyway, so Hand in Hand indicates confiding disposition when in close proximity to 38, 39, 42, or 47. And we do have a 42 in the thing that he needs to focus on. And we have a 47 beside our Hand in Hand card. But it looks like friendship will warm into love. So it's looking to me like if he's been avoiding building a relationship with a dear friend, it's the love bug's gonna bite him apparently, because the bride ensures for a single person fulfillment of their highest aims when near. And I would say when things that he needs to avoid, near-ish. So I would say air high five. If he starts working on those friendships, it's going to turn into something beautiful. Because we have the Sun card, also in the things that he needs to stop avoiding, signifies happiness and popularity. And the pig, whether near or far, is an omen of phenomenal luck and great abundance, high hopes, and honors. So he really is doing good if he starts working on those interpersonal relationships. So I'm thinking what probably this means is he's probably been getting a lot of advice from somebody and just been kind of brushing off, thinking, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. I can do this on my own. But all this is saying, sorry, bro, but you might have to actually start listening to your crazy fortune teller friend who says, little help goes a long way. Just hopefully, whoever your BFF is, tread careful. Because last I heard, your the only friend was a dude, and well, I have nothing against gay relationships. I'm actually ordained to do strictly pagan and LGBTQ plus, but you want to talk about an odd couple. I typically try not to judge, but odd couple, cute but odd. Whew. And as much as I love doing these demos, I tell you what, kind of kicking myself for not getting a bottle of water before getting started because I'm getting thirsty. Oh, goodness. Well, we've done a demo of my Zodiac cards, my Shapeshifter Oracle cards, and my Lenormand. You know what? Just for giggles. And after I get rid of this very annoying buzzing on my phone here. Get rid of that. Luckily, non-emergency. So I apologize for that one, but making sure that Mr. Wizard, because unfortunately, along with being a reader, I am I guess helpy helper person. When my friends are going through a rough patch, I'm the guy that they go to for advice. Not just because I'm a card reader, but you ever have that honest friend that won't give you a whole bunch of sugarcoat crap, but still try to be nice-ish? I'm usually that friend. But let's do a demo with my tarot cards, and then I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to call it a night just because, hey, been here for 38 minutes. My butt's starting to hurt from this chair, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Not the most comfortable chair in the world. Which is why I usually limit my reads to 25 to 30 minutes in person. But let's do a demo of you know what? Let's do a yes, no. And so that you guys can have a little bit of insight about the person that is offering you card readings, and you're probably going, who the heck is this chick? She ain't never been on the two tubes. Yes, I call YouTube two tubes. Like I said, you're going to hear some Samisms. But this chick ain't never been on the two tubes, and she's wanting to offer tarot readings and make me pay. What? Well, hopefully, from the Oracle and the Lenormand, you see that the quick little snippet demos are actually not that bad, and I kind of know my stuff. But let's do a quick yes-no spread for how... You know what? I'm looking at my link for my GoFundMe to be able to buy a location because, like many small businesses, I make enough to keep my doors open, but not enough to be able to, go forward. Let's see how it's going to go over the next year on being able to, in general, build funds to be able to buy a permanent location for my store and my readings. Over the next year, will I be able to build funds to be able to buy a permanent location instead of being the continuous renter? Nothing wrong with it, but sometimes you just want to be able to just say, this is mine. So how's that going to look? Am I going to be able to build any sort of funds over the next year to be able to buy a permanent location for my store and my readings? Well, there that went. All right, let's get some clarifiers. All right, well, I'm going to cut these guys off because so far we have these 3 plus 2 more clarifiers that I'm not sure got picked up on the camera that they jumped out. So let's check into this here. So over the next year, and I'm going to make you guys a little seasick again, so I apologize. Turn. It's so far looking like a solid no, it's not looking good, but we're going to go over the reasons why and what I can do to fix it. Now, like I said, so far it's not looking good because spiritually, I'm not going to lie, I'm in a little bit of turmoil. And that upside down Ace of Cups, a lot of people think that it means strictly just, emotions, love. No. Actually, Cups is your emotions or your spirituality based on your question and the intuition of the reader. My love life is actually, I can't complain about it if I'm going to be honest. It's actually not too bad at all. But spiritually, I have been in a little bit of a rock and a hard place. I've been having a hard time keeping my faith. So that is probably what's kind of kicking my butt right now. And the reason I say that is because a lot of readers do strictly right side up only, or they do right side up or reversal. I'm that weirdo. I also read sideways. Because if it comes out sideways, that tells me that it's both the good and the bad of that card. So with the strength card coming out sideways, I have the ability to face all of my adversaries, including my crisis of faith, if you will. The problem is that I don't believe in myself. I don't believe that I have that ability. So I need to work on that because the ability is there. I just need to start remembering it. And the way that I'm going to do that is with my Page of Swords. Yes, I use the Disney deck. Don't judge me. I'm one of those, if I ever have to give bad news in a good way, like now, I want to enjoy it. So with our Page of Swords right here with the cute little Lucifer kitty cat, if you've ever watched Cinderella, that's telling me that I need to take a step back, go back to my roots, and think more with my logical mind instead of my emotions, and actually remember who I am, where I come from, what do I know that I can do. And honestly, remember that there's always another chance to jump on the horse and try again. Not to step back and go, oh, I can't do it. No. I need to remember that I always have a plan, and there's always another time to catch that sneaky little mouse. And another I need to work on is breaking free of my addictions. Now, I'm not going to lie, mental health has always been an issue for me. And to a degree, like anyone else who's ever been honest with themselves about mental illness, I'm addicted to my comfort zone of just kind of scraping and struggling to the next step. The idea of letting myself being happy and enjoying my successes scares the crap out of me because I'm like, oh, what did I forget? What am I not doing? What am I supposed to be doing right now? I need to break away from that mindset and my other addictions, like probably smoking, to really start seeing myself being able to go further, to see that next step, to see that success happen. And also, you know how I said getting control of my emotions with my Page of Swords and realizing that there's always another chance to catch that damn mouse? I need to stop letting my emotions overwhelm me. I need to stop thinking like a upside down Queen of Cups where I'm always in fear of what am I doing wrong? Where do I need to start doing better at? I need to start leveling my emotions with my logic and knowing that I can use my heart and my head to make sure that I go further to get to where I want to be. And last but not least, the Hermit card. This little bugger. If you've ever read The Secret Language of Birthdays, you'll know that every birth date comes with a tarot card. This one's mine. Yep. That one's mine. And the reason why I kind of hang my head in shame is because I try to be that light in the darkness. I try to be that person that helps everybody out. But a lot of times I forget. I don't think about the fact that I need to remember my own journey. I need to remember where I am trying to go and to listen to my spirit guides when they're sending me messages. Because I'm not going to lie, I've been seeing some things that make zero sense, if I'm going to be perfectly honest with my location. But I know that there are messages that I need to start listening and paying attention to, like seeing 4 ravens the other day. You don't see ravens often in my area. Crows, sure. Sparrows, abso-freaking-lutely, they're coming out of the woodwork. But ravens are definitely a little bit of an oddball for my area. Same with monarch butterflies. I've seen 2 between yesterday and today. It might have been the same one. I don't know. But a monarch butterfly just happened to flap in nearby me, and I live in the middle of a city. And I don't normally notice birds or butterflies. The thing I'm normally noticing is what's on my to-do list, if I'll be honest. So the Hermit cards tell me that I need to start getting back into my spirituality so that I can fix this. And that is all I am doing for tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed the demo tonight, and I do plan on making this become a weekly thing. So follow the Facebook page, Seeing with Sam, or even just, start subscribing to the YouTube channel here so you can get a notification whenever I'm live. And I hope to see everyone the next time I come on here. Have a great night, and if I don't see any of you at all, have a fabulous weekend, and good luck with your retrograde. Because remember, it's not scary. It's just a great time to develop. Good night, guys.